With us now is Dr. Lindsay, and we're going to be talking about physical therapy and integrative health. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're doing well today?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. I liked your canvas bag. I saw it in the kitchen, and it says, Breathe Eden.
Correct.
What does that mean to you, that phrase, or that name of your company?
Yeah, it means everything to me. Breathing in general is just really the foundation of life, and it's what I founded my business on. I'm a physical therapist, yoga teacher, and health coach, and just very different than traditional physical therapy, where I use the breath a lot to help people calm their nervous system and help to get them out of pain. And then Eden is life, like breathing in life and breathing in peace and joy and happiness. And it's just a vital part of healing.
You're like 3 in 1, right? You are this, like you could pick any single one of those things and be an expert in one direction, right? But you've kind of pulled them together for your practice.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I was saying too, sometimes I forget to breathe. Sometimes I forget to eat lunch, but I ate lunch today. Okay, so we're a step ahead. So what type of breathing exercises should we be doing? And do we do them when we wake up or only when we're in distress?
No, definitely a practice daily.
Okay.
When we practice anything daily, it becomes a habit. So when we are in a state of stress, our autonomic nervous system could kick in and we could remember that breathing practice. So I would definitely suggest a daily practice. And there's so many different types of breathing practices, even just a very simple awareness of catching yourself that you're holding your breath and then taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose and a slow, deep breath out of your mouth and or nose as well. There's so many different varieties.
I was going to ask you, they often say breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. How come it's not like in through your mouth and out through your nose? Or is it sometimes? Can you do that? I guess you could, right?
You can, but how the nervous system works, we don't want to like hyperventilate ourselves either. So you want to take it more. There's different types too. Like if you think of more like a medical type breathing practice as opposed to yoga and pranayama. In yoga, we do a lot of breathing solely through the nose. It just keeps the energy cycle internal, as opposed to, say, Pilates breath, where there's exhale out of the mouth. And I don't think anything is completely right or wrong. There's so many different ways for a variety of different people and intentions. So it's really just, I think, the intention of how we're doing the breathing practice and why.
And speaking of intentions, do you feel like this type of conversation is more mainstream now? I don't remember ever growing up with it. I didn't know what my chakras were. I didn't know what color they were. I didn't know that this is my crown. I didn't know any of it, right? I was just like, oh, it's a nice rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand any of that. I might have gotten so far to actually make like a dream catcher, okay? Like out of string. What is it about that conversation now that seems more mainstream?
Yeah,
more acceptable?
Thank goodness it's more mainstream because we all know we need it.
Right.
Another reason why I got into these practices, not to go into too much detail of the turning point in my life, but I didn't have these practices as a child. None of us really did. And how different maybe our lives would be if we did. So I'm very passionate about bringing awareness, conscious breathing into our life. And I think it's been collective. I think people have realized the intense stress that has gone on in our generation, and it's really just a big need.
Yeah, it really is. It is like life is difficult, you know, or even students that are trying to study for exams, you know, they're cramming all that information in their brain, but they're not like getting into like a nice posture first. Right?
Yeah.
I took yoga in college. So I don't know.
It's amazing.
I knew the sun salutation. I knew a few things, right? I wish I could do that. I wish I could have a practice doing that. So how is it at your PT place that you're combining all of those things?
Yep, so I use traditional manual, hands-on physical therapy skills, but I also use, again, the breath practices from yoga, also some of the movement postures, and just being mindful in the movements. And I use the yoga principles as the therapeutic tool to help heal injury and pain. I work with a lot of people with stress and anxiety. I work with a lot of prenatal care and postpartum into motherhood, because as we know, mothers are very, very stressed. So that's been more my specific niche market now. But everybody could benefit from the type of physical therapy that I practice.
I would think dads too. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I just had dad is getting up at the 2 o'clock feeding or whatever, and it's like stressful for both parents sometimes.
Yeah, I had clients this morning that do a dual session.
They do? They come as a
And it was
couple?
a couple. Yeah,
That's
it's
so
beautiful.
lovely.
Yeah, it's
Good
really
for you.
wonderful. Yeah.
How would you like your practice to grow? Where do you see your skill set over the next 5 years being helpful to more people?
Yeah, I'd just love to have a storefront, with my brand on the front, but more importantly, just to service my community and the surrounding areas. With this type of work, I would love, my one-on-one treatment rooms, but also a studio space where I could do more group sessions and circles and different types of classes for a lot more people.
Well, I thank you for being here, Lindsay. Dr. Lindsay, it was so nice to speak with you from Breathe Eden. And also, I don't know if my audience might have caught it at home, but like a light bulb just flickered, and I was like, oh, I don't know, we're talking about good things, maybe energy is around us. But thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Stay tuned for more. We've been living it up. And if you did see that light go out, make a wish. Pretend it's a shooting star. That's what I'm doing today. Be well.